from Atlanta, Georgia.
It's the War on Woke Morning Show.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Good morning.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia.
It's the War on Woke Morning Show.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Live from
Wake up,
Atlanta,
wake up.
Georgia.
It's the War on Woke Morning Show.
Wake up.
Wake up.
We might be back with the War on Woke morning show. I told y'all Friday to do push-ups. Hopefully you guys did it. Load on in here. Load on in here. It's time. It's time. It's time. I told you Friday to do your push-ups. It's time. It's time. How Mariah Carey be saying it? Come on in, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia.
It's the War on Woke Morning Show.
Wake up.
Wake up.
First of all, guys, I was supposed to start this live when I made this live last night. It was initially supposed to start at 11. I thought I would have a little free time. So I said, well, I could start a little bit earlier at 10. No can do. Put it back at 11. So load on in. I know some of you guys are probably, if you're on the West Coast, you probably are just rolling out of bed. If you're on the East Coast, you're probably at work. We're finna get into some things. The last show that I did on Friday, please share this live, guys. It's going to be PG. It's going to be PG because I know the kids are at home. I'll try to keep it as PG as possible. I can't make any promises because I am an adult at the end of the day. And you also use profane language around your kids. So, you're their first role model. I'm way, way, way down the line. So, if I slip up and say a little, profanity, just excuse my language, okay? I'm going to try my best. I haven't done a morning show in a long time, so I'm untrained on morning shows. I was trying to set a goal here on YouTube, goal to see whether I need to bring the morning show back. The thing about morning shows is a lot of information is given on morning shows that you're allowed to process throughout the day versus a wind down show or unpacking show like what I typically do. Later on in the day, less information is given and it's more like shooting the bobo, if you will, or like more like talking to your friends versus a morning show. You can give out a lot of information because people have the entire day to process it. A lot of people don't have. Somebody just gave me a thumbs down. See, y'all trying to trigger me to start cursing. That's what it is. I just saw a thumbs down come down my screen. So somebody is intentionally trying to trigger me. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay. I know y'all at work. I'm not gonna get triggered and go off on a tangent, but that's probably one of the deep state guys that just gave me a thumbs down because I'm about to unpack something and they know it. Listen, so morning shows, a lot of information is given. Daytime shows, you're winding down. You don't want to hear a whole lot of stuff. So people typically gravitate to either or, not both. Unless you're just on YouTube all day looking for information, search for information, then that's something different. So I was trying to set a goal to see, do I need to bring back the War on Woke morning show since talks of war are brewing? And on Friday, I had y'all do 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, and or 10 squats. Please click like in here to combat that thumbs down that I just got. It's still bothering me a little bit. It's very much still bothering me a little bit. So please click like in here, click love, all the other emojis if you can. Comment in the chat so we can get the numbers up because I'm definitely the algorithm. Ain't no such thing as an algorithm. The algorithm is null and void. Null and void. But on Friday, I had you guys do 10 push-ups, 10 jumping jacks, and or 10 squats. Because I said, now, if they're going to go to war, we're not going to be the ones that are unfit. Okay? We're not going to be the ones that cannot run from a nuclear fallout. It's not going to be us. We're going to have some strength in our arms. We're going to have some strength in our legs. So if you feel like it, if you hadn't got your push-ups, your jumping jacks, or your squats in, give me 10. I just need 10 jumping jacks, 10 push-ups, or 10 squats. It's a lot of men watch this channel. I know that's nothing for you guys. Get your blood flowing. If you're in a big truck, if you're in a big rig, when you pull over to that rest stop, I need you to give me 10 jumping jacks. Because I know you don't want to drop down to the ground and give me 10 push-ups, and you probably don't have enough room in that truck to push up 10. So 10 jumping jacks or 10 squats. If you don't want nobody to see you squat, open the door to your big rig, squat, or go to the back of the truck, get some squats. You got to get your blood flowing, okay? Because you got to be able to run if a nuclear fallout happens. Now, on Friday, I was making a joke about it. On Friday night, Saturday morning, Iran was bombed. Now, if you know like I know, if you're an unpacker like I'm an unpacker, which most of you guys are, click like. I'm just waiting on a lot of people to load in so we can go ahead and get the show started. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the War on Woke Morning Show. Some of you are new. You didn't even know this part of Unpacked existed, but these War on Woke morning shows got very controversial during the political season, and I kind of stopped doing them. Let me just stick to the regular Unpacked, because you start going into deep state files and really start unpacking stuff, and then people get a little weird. It gets a little spooky. Bombs were dropped on Iran, but I want you guys, if you are following along, thank you for the super chat, Cheap Basketball. Beauty is your name. I appreciate it. My first super chat of the War on Woke morning show. I haven't done a War on Woke morning show since 2023? I've been on YouTube for a long time. Some of you probably are new, like, oh girl, this girl don't got a lot of people in the chat. This is like my third YouTube page, guys. They keep getting banned and shut down. So we're trying to grow this page back. Hopefully we can get up to 50K by the end of the summer. If not, then I'll know that this channel is still sanctioned, and then I probably have to create another one that's not sanctioned. But so far, it looks like this channel is still pretty sanctioned. It grows really slow, unlike my other channel that had hundreds, millions of views on it and deleted. Anyway, as we go through this, I'm about to show you guys something that you should keep in mind. Hi, everybody. Hey, Reese. Hey, Regina. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Butterfly. Hey, Brandslayer. Hey, Patrick. Everybody on the West Coast. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Everybody in the Midwest. Good morning. Everybody on the East Coast. Hey, we family. East Coast is wide awake. West Coast, y'all just rolling over. Hadn't had your coffee yet. I'm a little loud right now. Although I have not had coffee or anything to eat. I'm just kind of like naturally like lit. I want you guys to keep this in mind as we go through this first episode of the War on Woke morning show. Good morning.
Live from Atlanta, Georgia.
It's the War on Woke morning show.
Wake up.
Wake up.
Keep this in mind. This was posted online on Friday. Okay? You have to keep this in mind. The U.S. Senate is currently considering a budget reconciliation bill that quietly includes language that could devastate our public lands. It would make over 250 million acres of public land eligible for sale. Mandate the sale of at least 2 million acres of forest and BLM land. That means your favorite hiking trails, campsites, and wild places could be sold off to the highest bidder or the heirs property owners. Tell your senators to remove this dangerous provision. Here is the keep that in mind as we talk on today. Now I started moving towards this when I started doing that service, guys, that land search service. Was that March? In March, it was either March or April when I started. I probably announced it in March and started April 1st or April 2nd or something like that. It wasn't days. The next day after I announced that land search and did that, the example of finding the 2 people land, that I asked for 2 volunteers and I found those 2 people's land very quickly. And what I explained on that live about the world wars and all these state parks and military lands that was snatched up during the world wars, and that there was an actual army portfolio created. The army didn't have land before the world wars, and how a lot of land got contaminated. That live was amazing. People slept on that live because they don't understand the whole full picture of what's going on, how we unpack it, how we give it up on this channel. They haven't caught on yet. But that live, if I even kept it up, I think I probably took it down. But what I was discussing on that live was that during the world wars, a lot of land was snatched up and contaminated. A lot of family heirs' property, farmland, land that wasn't even farmland was contaminated, and it ended up in the military portfolio, including the flooded cities, ended up in the Army's quartermaster's portfolio. Now, I explained on that live that different sectors of the military has a portfolio of land. And you have to go to war in order to get these portfolios of land here in America, because you have to have a reason to, one, contaminate the land. You have to have a reason to do it. So a lot of Black people, Black Americans, Negroes, coloreds, please click like in here. Please share the live while I'm going through this, because you never know, I may take this. Black families' land was absolutely taken. And how does this all tie in? I'm about to tell you right now. You can only take these lands during war. You can only get land for a particular portion of the military unless you go to war. Now, the Space Force just had its first war on Friday night, Saturday morning. So that attack that they said was it was a military, but notice that they added the Space Force in. Now, when I start looking for families' land, I initially started searching these military records, and that's what I told you guys. I said I'm going to look through the military records and see whether any land got contaminated in your family, because if you heard a rumor that your family had land and y'all just cannot find it, sometimes it could likely be in the military portfolio. And if it is, that money that they paid in order to get that payout is supposed to be at the courthouse in the coffers, unless your family went and got it. I explained all of that on the live. Now, did all land that the military confiscated become military bases? No. Some of the land is literally just sitting up, overgrown trees. Some of the land is state parks. A lot of the land is on BLM, which, when you guys first met me, you heard me talking about the land patents on BLM. You'd be surprised how much of this land was initially contaminated, but some of the family went and got the land back. But then we got distracted, right? Entertainment. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. We got so entertained that we forgot about the land. We forgot all about it. And that's by design. Put these entertainers in front so we can run a diversion. You know, if you a man, you know how plays are written on the football, basketball field and stuff. Basketball court, football field. You know how to play book. That side over there distracted while we do this over here. So the Diddy case supposed to distract us. I'm telling you, I'm convinced. At this point, I'm convinced. So let's run through some stuff. I wish we can get at least. I mean, is this not an important topic y'all don't want to share? I haven't used any profanity yet. I mean, you guys share this to your friend. Click the link. Text it to a Negro in your phone. It don't matter. You could pretend like you text it to them on accident. If it's a darkie in your phone, copy the link from this video, text it to their phone, and let them just pop up on the video. You don't even have to explain it. Just send a link, text it on their phone, and let them click the link so it can pop up on their phone. We're talking about heirs property, Trump, Iran, Diddy. That's what we're finna talk about. That's what we're discussing. And it always ties back into heirs property. Now, also take into consideration World War I and the beginning of World War II was almost exactly 100 years ago, which some of the land had 100-year leases on it. A lot of this land, the lease is already up on the land. So it's inevitable that some of this land has to be returned to sender anyway, has to be returned to original families anyway, has to be managed by us, the people who are heirs, the people who have birthright citizenship, the only group of people, no matter how you slice the cake, no matter how you slice the cake, the only group of people with birthright citizenship over here, the land has to be returned. I was just watching the UN meeting from this the new war that the Space Force is about to start, probably so they can swipe up land, Trump. And there was no Negroes at the UN table when they was discussing this new war. And I automatically thought about this. And I'm like, when I announced that in April and March, it wasn't days after. It was like the next day. There was a Senate hearing and they brought up this land. And they said the government just has a surplus of land. And, it's like, what are we going to do? We need to we need to start getting rid of some of this land because the government cannot afford to manage this large surplus of land that we have in this portfolio. Now, if you can find, is there a briefcase? Is there a suitcase emoji in the phone? If you can find a suitcase emoji in the phone, get it on ready. Get ready, because I need y'all to put a suitcase emoji in the phone. Let me see. Is there a suitcase emoji? Suitcase. Yes, there's a briefcase. Find the briefcase emoji in your phone and type it in the chat. Or put a 1 in the chat if you remember specifically. I did a whole nother live about that. I did an entire live. I say, guys, do you see what happened? The government just had a hearing talking about the surplus of land that they have and that they can't afford. I came back online to tell y'all that I keep buffering. Somebody said I keep buffering. I don't know why. I'm connected over here on my side. I don't know why. I don't know why it's buffering. But just stay connected. If it keeps buffering, just stay connected. So let's share screens. So can y'all see me? Yes or no? Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. Can you guys see me and hear me? Because someone said I'm buffering. Somebody said, beautiful soul, Queen Janice, you're proof that great researchers actually exist. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Guys, I'm still live on my side, but some people in the chat are saying that Patrick is saying that I'm buffering. It's buffering in and out. That's wild. I have no clue why. I haven't even gotten into it yet, and they said it's buffering. Is it bad or is it manageable? Is it bad or is it manageable, guys? Because I am live, fully live on my side. Is it bad or is it manageable? Is it bad? Is the buffering bad? Said like every 1 or 2 minutes. Well, let me just try to get through this real quick, guys. Let me just try to get through something really quick then, let me try to get through something really quick. Okay. So I'm about to share my screen and I want to show you guys this article so that you can just see these things mentioned in the same article. This is Fox News. Trump's nuclear strategy takes shape as former Manhattan Project, that's the World Wars, German scientists, Henrietta Lacks, Oppenheimer, okay, powers up for AI race against China. So I just wanted you guys to see that nuclear strategy, Manhattan Project, and AI race against China is all added in the same sentence. Okay, Roy said I'm buffering bad. Thank you for the super chat, Roy. Dang. Let me just try to get through this really quickly, guys. Let me try to get through this really quickly, since I'm buffering really bad. I know everybody's telling me I'm buffering. I don't know why this. I don't know. Could possibly be somebody flagging. Yeah, they could be, because somebody did give me a thumbs down, so they could be flagging. Yeah, just refresh your screen. Okay, somebody said every few seconds with a buffering. I thought trolls sleep during the day. Somebody said it's completely frozen on their end. Wow. Maybe start clicking like. Click like. Maybe that'll click like. Maybe that'll help the buffering. I don't know. I have no idea what she's saying, and I really want to know. That's crazy. Some people are saying I'm frozen. Some people are saying I'm buffering. I'm literally still live on my side, which is crazy, because when you're buffering on this side, it usually just cuts off. But maybe refresh your screen. Try refreshing your screen. Try refreshing. Let me see. Let me type in the chat. I just typed in the chat. Try refreshing, guys. Okay, so let me just go through this. And so maybe on the playback it'll show fully instead of the buffering that is showing on you guys' side. Maybe during the playback it'll show fully, because I'm pretty seamless over here on my side. Let me go through this really quickly. So I'm going to share my screen. Yeah, I see you guys are refreshing. Yes, refresh and come back in. Okay, guys. Okay. Let me just do this real. I'm gonna just share this real quickly. Okay. Jean-Luc Burnell. I hate that it's buffering on you guys' side, because this is amazing. This is amazing. People are probably flagging the video, guys, but just don't worry. Just keep watching. Jean-Luc Burnell, guys. Jean-Luc Didier. I could not make this up. Jean-Luc Didier Henry Burnell. Who is this guy? Okay, he's a French model Scott. He gained prominence by leading the international modeling agency Karen Mossberg Models. That's what this is. And founded and yes, that Mossberg, for the fellas who know. If you know, you know. And founded MC2 Model Management with financing by Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. He was a subject of a 60 Minutes investigation, and he faced allegations of sexual assault spanning 3 decades. Now, he's from Paris. He's from France. Okay. Let's go down here a little bit. Burnell had met with Ghislaine Maxwell in the late 1980s, and she later introduced him to financer Jeffrey Epstein. Dollars in 2004 to help launch the new modeling agency MC2. Are you guys? We're good now. Are you guys in the chat? This is wild. This is what? Oh Lord. Okay. See, that's what I'm saying. It's the return of the deep state. See, we had a whole time where we was cool, where it seemed like, okay, justice is finally happening. Now look like whereas you thought you had an administration, whereas see, and this is why black folks stayed home during the election and just was like everybody all together anyway. So why waste your gas going to vote for somebody who ain't gonna do nothing no way? That's why niggas stayed to the house. Oops, that's my first little bad word. Birds of the same feather. Is that they thought they was gonna ruffle each other's feathers. See, or one could have been playing cleanup because Trump looked like he was trying to play cleanup the whole time. You never know. You remember, if y'all want to really watch something that's very interesting, please, if you're in here, please click like. Please click like. Please comment in the chat so I know that people are in here, because I literally just went down on my side. My servers just went all the way out. Guys, that was weird. Very strange. That was very strange. It's very strange. Stranger things have happened. So let me know if you guys are still in here. I don't know. I'm back connected on my side, so hopefully the stream, once it processes, it goes seamlessly. Let me just show y'all this last little bit of information. Wow, this is the return of the deep state. You know, they look like they were separate at one point, but everybody's very much together. So it was a cleanup happened where Diddy Holmes was raided, because I'm here to believe that Diddy and Epstein was the same. They both worked for the deep state to get information on people, incriminating information on people. I'm convinced. I'm very much convinced, because the Epstein files weren't released, and although we see a very public Diddy trial, they're not releasing a whole lot of stuff in Diddy trial. Do I think that Trump is the one that made sure Diddy would be put under? I really much think so. And I've been saying this since the trial started. I've been saying this since Diddy was first indicted, that this was political. I very much believe so. Do I believe that Trump had something to do with Epstein's lynching? Possibly. I will say this, that Joe Rogan and Cash Patel interview, Joe Rogan made me think that. And how Cash Patel answered made me think, okay, well, it's a group out here playing cleanup. They're trying to get rid of all of whatever evidence or whatever in order to change over the guard. And with this bombing in Iran, first of all, you bombed 3 nuclear facilities. That means Iran doesn't exist anymore. If Iran had nuclear weapons and you bombed their facility, that means you actually blew Iran off the map. Because what happens when you bomb a nuclear weapon? What happens when a bomb drops on a nuke? Does it detonate, or does it just say, hi, how are you doing? What happens when a bomb drops on a nuke? Now we also need to remember, because let me keep going through this. Let me just keep going through this. Hopefully the stream will be a catch up. Let me just keep going through this. Okay. Did y'all know that the Benjamin Netanyahu is actually on trial right now? Ding, 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 ding. This guy is on trial. This guy is in trial right now. So it's not just P. Diddy. It's a whole changing of the guards that's happening. Did you know Benjamin Netanyahu was on trial? His cross-examination started. See, he's been on trial. But his cross-examination actually just started June 3rd, 2025. What also happened June 3rd, 2025? And Diddy trial on the day of June 3rd, 2025. That's the actual day. And Tyler Perry, he'll be in there. He finna go down too, but his case is gonna be parallel with Weinstein. Diddy's case is parallel with Epstein. Them two just did the bidding. Epstein and Diddy just did the bidding for somebody. Weinstein and Tyler Perry could just be doing the bidding for somebody. They could be guilty, but they could be not. Who knows? We don't know the verdict on these cases. It just looked like to me they're changing over power for these reasons alone. Because you got to change over the land and who own the land. You got to see who finna control BLM next. And we're on their tails. Because, see, we don't want to be left out the situation. We already don't have a seat at the table at the UN. I was looking at the UN meeting. There's no Black Americans there. Not one Black American, but Africans that are there. Africans are there. And if you're not represented, then that means you're misrepresented. So that means to me, you can't find no Black American to sit at that UN table to speak on our behalf. Where's Condoleezza Rice? Somebody get a vet. I don't care. Get a Black military vet. The military full of Black folks. Why can't we sit at the table and have an opinion? We don't have any opinion, but everybody want to fight over our oil land. We don't have any opinion. But when we go back to try to get heirs property back, and I ain't talking about heirs property, one house that y'all got in the 1980s. That's not the heirs property that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the heirs property. I'm just calling it that. I'm talking about true heirship. That people had to pay heirship fees on. That people had in their families forever. That was never supposed to be removed. That they know these titles weren't clear. And they had to contaminate the land to clear the titles. But when they contaminated the land to clear the titles, they supposedly wrote a check. Because even by law, you can't contaminate no land and take it. You still got to write a check to the family. If you didn't write a check to that family, that's all I'm doing right here. We're helping families on this land search. If you didn't write a check to the family, we're getting the butter from the duck at the court. Like, by law, you have to pay the family. I mean, by federal law. By federal law, you have to pay families. You can't just take nobody's stuff. You can't just take nobody's stuff.